With an unapologetic vision of a subculture, Hackers became a movie that's dated, yet positively memorable.
Canada be damned. I'm going to the Klondike.
The Klondike is Canada.
Giorgio, you be doing just fine, brother.
When we talk about movies, the notion that it takes on its own world is one which is often spoken of. I'm guilty of this myself, and I've done it more than once on this very channel. But one thing I've never done on this channel is talked about a film's culture. To some, those may be one and the same, and perhaps that's how you see it. There's nothing wrong with that. Using 1995's Hackers, I want to make that distinction clear by highlighting what makes its culture worth mentioning, as well as some other aspects of the film. As I'm sure you know, or can guess, Hackers is about a hacker.
Unbelievable.
There is time only for peace.
A hacker.
Well, hackers, plural. But that comes after the film establishes our main character, Dade, played by Johnny Lee Miller. Dade's a wizard with a computer who gets into hot water at a young age, and after some nefarious activity, he's banished from using a computer connected to the net until his 18th birthday. Fast forwarding to his 18th, it's not long before Dade is up to his old tricks. A fresh arrival to New York, it is here that Dade meets a group of hackers who, like Dade, have their own aliases.
I'm the Freak. The Phantom Freak. The King of 9X. Meet Serial Killer. Eyes and Fruit Loops. But he does know things. Nikon! Lord Nikon, this is
Crash Override.
Never heard of you.
What is he doing in here?
Relax, Burn, he's my guest.
Burn. Your acid burn.
I was zero cool.
Zero cool. Crashed 1,507 systems in one day. Biggest crash in history.
I need a handle, man. I mean, I don't have an identity until I have a handle.
You know, you're right about that.
Among these hackers, two things happen. First, an ongoing flirtatious love-hate exchange develops between Dade and our female lead Kate, or Acid Burn, played by a young Angelina Jolie.
Is your class?
My class. You mean I'm not in your class?
No, you're not in my class.
Give me time. Well, it looks like I'm on top. And I'm still a virgin.
Okay, I get that you two are dreaming about each other, but where do you go after losing your virginity to Angelina Jolie?
Never fear. I is here.
Right. I'm getting off topic. As for the second thing, the main plot, the group's lowest hacker on the totem pole, Joey, carelessly hacks a supercomputer, which is run by another hacker with an alias.
Mr. Belford?
My name is the Plague.
Joey, having discovered some juicy files, inadvertently draws the Plague's crosshairs onto the group, and the group works against the clock to prevent an ecological disaster for which they'll be framed for. Side note, does anyone else find it weird that the FBI waits for a minor to expose himself in the shower before making their presence known to arrest him? I'm no legal expert, but that does sound dicey.
Oh, that's disgusting!
As I said off the top of the video, Hackers has a culture to it worth mentioning. I say culture because the culture of hackers within the film is different from the real world that surrounds them. Those differences are blatantly clear in things like the vibrant costume design.
Now I try to save you from yourself, but you gotta stop letting your mama dress you, man. You hopeless.
Or the actor's delivery, which can be fanatical, if not just plain kooky.
Fight the planet!
We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys.
All right, there was a little tension breaker that had to be done, all right?
Serial.
Yeah?
Go fix the phones.
Roger.
Alongside the film's use of electronica music, rollerblading, and even though it doesn't come out and say it, its embracement of gay culture, Hackers carves out a subculture within the film's world which is uniquely its own and recognizably different from the mainstream. The culture of hackers within this world is so flashy and appealing, it makes everyone and everything outside of it look simply boring. Our group of teen hackers may be on the wrong side of things legally, but we overlook that not just because they're the protagonist, but because the authority figures are stiffs. Naturally, after over a quarter of a century, much of Hackers feels dated, especially on the technological front. The film's representation of hacking may not be accurate, but it's excusable because it's trying to make something cinematic which is otherwise visually mundane. Other technological elements are simply obsolete given how much time has passed, like payphones.
That's right, this is a payphone. Don't ask.
Yeah, Gen Z, don't ask. A slim window of films which were in the same era and vein as Hackers in how they portrayed this technology, like The Lawnmower Man or Johnny Mnemonic, came and went as fast as the technology itself. For whatever reason, Hackers is the only one of its kind that's truly stuck with me over the years. I suspect this is because the film didn't rely solely on the wow factor of its technology, but rather the culture which it built from the ground up. And that's the admirable thing about Hackers. By utilizing these elements collectively, Hackers has created a movie worth revisiting in the long run. It doesn't have the stench of flash-in-the-pan cheap tricks to strictly dominate opening weekend. It's better than that. Maybe that's the lesson to be taken away from Hackers as we look back from modern times. Perhaps one key to a sustainable movie is a hack devoted to its culture.